Well, mind you. What?
And
You're going to join the
if you can't beat them, join them. Anyway, let's have the idle chit chat. Welcome to Thursday's live stream.
Hello, everybody.
Guaranteed talking about music, no drama, no shouting, no rants and raves, just talking about good stuff. And it's not the boring stuff. It's all about the music. Got lots to go through as usual. Been a busy week again. This and that.
The 4 votes are all for Thin Lizzy.
Oh, they're all for Tin Lizzy.
Yes.
So we only picked up a couple of subscribers this week, but we have lost some, which I expected.
Yes. Well,
I'm not shocked horrid about losing 3. But there you go. You can't win them all. But 2,455 people have watched. So what have you been watching? Well, we've got an equal third this week. We've got Graham Parker versus Elvis Costello. Good evening, Mick. Good afternoon,
Mick.
Elvis Costello battle debut from last week. 56 people watched that, along with an equal third Tina Turner's studio albums at 56. Number 2 last week was Ozzy Osbourne's studio albums at 130. But at the top, as it always is when we do one together, it's the top 20 number 3s of all time with Richard McCook, 176 people watched that. Got a new top short for last week, and it was Creatures of the Night, Kiss.
Yes, I was surprised.
Yes, very surprised. Okay, the 28 days, 9,441 views, 28 new subscribers in the last month. So we're averaging about that, which is cool. Top 3, number 3 is straight in there. The top 20 number 3s were Rigid, 176. Ozzy Osbourne studio album ranking 189. But still at the top, the 1990s number 2s. And again, good evening, Art. Welcome.
Good evening,
all the way
Art.
from North Carolina. And the top short for the 28 days is Kiss, but with 211. So,
yeah, but
very popular that one was. The big numbers.
Overall, the top videos in the 28 days the top 3 have all been live streams.
I know. Yeah, considering we're supposed to be boring, 346 people watched last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last count.
Boring. Anyway, we've now had 195,913 views since we started. And we've got 1,046 loyal subscribers, which is fantastic. No change. Top short, Oxygen, Jethro Tull, number 3, Derek Riggs, and Status Quo. Last week's battle of the debuts.
Hands down.
12 points or 12 votes. Elvis Costello, 34. It's a huge win for Elvis Costello. So that's what you've been watching. I'm getting on tackling the laundry list with great gusto these days. Sonic Youth, I've listened to 10 now, 15. Flaming Lips, 8 of 16. Clutch, 6 of 13. Shadow Gallery, 3 of 6. Winter Machine, 2 of 3. New Order, I've listened to 3. The Skids, I've listened to 3. I've listened one to Fela Kuti. New one in the list. Bit different for the channel, but we don't just cover rock music, as you know. But we got Metallica, 1 of 12. Another one's added to the list have been Toto, Linden's Farm, and Poison. And finished and ready to go are the Groundhogs. So there we go, lots going on. I'm now going to hand you over for hatches and matches and dispatches.
Well, before we do that, last week's quiz.
Oh,
20 people out of 39 got it right. It was Unchained Melody. It's in four different artists all had it in the top 10 in the same week, which is rather unbelievable. Anyway, having said that, hatches, matches, and dispatches. Well, there's three big names that have passed in the last week. Sadly, Friday of last week, we lost Tony Bennett, a 20 times Grammy winner. And I know Iain has been looking at some of his music, especially the stuff that he did in later years, which I was quite surprised. He did an awful lot with Lady Gaga. Then on Saturday, we lost Vince Hill, singer and songwriter, best known for singing Edelweiss. And we also lost a gentleman by the name of Peter Austin, a Jamaican singer, and he sang with a group called the Clarendonians. 23rd of July, we lost Raymond de Froggatt. He was an English songwriter, and he wrote songs like Calo La Vita, which was covered by the Dave Clark Five, and Big Ship, which was recorded by Cliff Richard. And then, of course, yesterday, the big one, we lost Sinead O'Connor. 56, she was found in her London home. They haven't declared cause of death. There's going to be an autopsy, etc. So it's going to take a couple of weeks before we find out what happened to her. But sad news. And she had been added to Ladies' Night for, if I remember correctly, September. We're going to do a retro ranking.
Yeah, it was already sort of in the pipeline anyway. So
yeah, so that's all the dispatches. But hatches, it's birthday time. We've got 16 birthdays. So the youngest is age 33, born in 1990, Cheyenne Kimball, an American musician with a group called Gloriana. 48 today is Fred Mascherino, an American musician with a group called Taking Back Sunday. 49 today is Pete Yorn, another American musician known for his album, and it's all one word, Music for the Morning After. 50 today is Abe Cunningham, an American musician with the Deftones. 56 today is Juliana Hatfield, another American musician, and she was with a couple of groups, Blake Babies and the Lemonheads. 59 today is Rex Brown, heavy metal bassist with Pantera. And Ron Jackson, an American jazz guitarist, composer, and arranger, and he was known for an album, Flubby Dubby. 60 today is Karen Allison, an American jazz singer. She's known for song Wild for You. And then with 72 today is Tris Imboden, an American rock and jazz session and touring drummer. And he's played with a lot of people. Al Jarreau, Neil Diamond. He played with Kenny Loggins from 79 to 85. And he played with Chicago from 1990 to 2018. So he'll have been on a few of the albums that you reviewed.
God, yeah.
73 today, grand old gentleman, Michael Vaughan, not the cricketer, the English rocker with Paper Lace. 74 today is Maureen McGovern, an American Academy Award-winning pop singer. She was known for a song, The Morning After. Also 74 is David Muse, an American rocker with a band called Firefall. 79 today is Barbara Thompson, and she was a British jazz saxophonist and composer. 79 also is Bobby Gentry, born Roberta Streeter, singer and songwriter best known for the ode to Billy Joe. 85 today, Isabelle Aubray, born Therese Coquerel. She's a French singer known for a song, Un Premier Amour. And the oldest of the lot, 93 years young today, is Jack Emblow, a British jazz and session accordionist and band leader. Now, he led bands. He led the BBC Radio Band. He also led the Cliff Adams Singers, and he played with the Beatles on All You Need Is Love. So that's the hatches and dispatches. No matches. We're not doing weddings.
And this is a famous one.
Yes, it would have to be seriously famous. And so far, today's quiz, the last time I looked, 4 of you had gone for a wrong answer. Everybody else has got it right. You're doing well. You're doing well. This could be week number 2 that I lose. Anyway, if you are ready, young sir,
I am.
Put that on, and we put you in full screen, and off you go. And good evening, everyone who's arrived while I've been yakking.
Yes, good evening, everyone, because I can't see either. So I will talk to you all in a minute. So next week, what have we got for you next week? Well, we got the usual sort of stuff. So on Monday, we're starting off with a band called Frop. And for those of you that don't know who Frop are, they are a progressive rock band from Northern Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
A pretty good band. Made 4 great albums. Classic album next week is the last of the ones in the 2000s. We're going to go and look at an Arctic Monkeys album. I think it was their debut as well. Whatever people say I am, that's what I'm not. What a mouthful that is. But it's a pretty good album. Tuesday, we continue with the Tony Martin story. Now, I've got to pronounce... How do you pronounce that, Dave? Is it Juinti?
Juintini Project.
The Juinti, yeah. All I know is it's Aldo, who's, I think, is the guy to the left of Tony Martin at the front there. He's an Italian guitarist. Some good music. And we've got a request. And this was from Nick's Vinyl Buddy. He wanted some Ian Jury. So I've gone through Ian Jury's songs. I've picked my top 10 songs. Wednesday's marathon is we've got a double bubble that day. We're going to look at another great southern rock band that I like, Molly Hatchet. And there's a certain young man's birthday. Mr. Rob Walker has got a birthday, so I'll be running down his birthday top 10 on Wednesday as well.
That should be a good one, 64.
It is a good one. I can guarantee you that one. Okay, Battle of the Debuts next week. We're going to do a power metal month.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Yes. Enlighten some of you that have nothing. So we're going to start off by the first album by Threshold, a band I really love, Wounded Heart. And they're going up against...
Wounded Land.
Wounded Land, even. Against Legendary Tales by Rhapsody of Fire. Now, they started off as Rhapsody, but they changed their name. So, pick a mix next week. We've got a producer, and we got one of the finest producers this country has produced in the rock and metal. It's Mr. Tom Allen, who has produced Priest, to name but one of his bands. There's others, of course, that no one remembers. So that's that. Friday, live albums. We're going to look at some live music of a great funk metal band that I saw a couple of times in the 80s. They're called Living Colour. I mean, I ranked their albums many moons ago. I love this band. You know, when they come on stage, you got these 4 blokes with dreadlocks. You think, what we're getting here? But boy, do you get some good stuff. And then we got a new album, and it's the well-weighted album from Blur, The Ballad of Darren. I've been listening to it, and I'm really getting into it.
Oh, it's been on Radio 2 all week.
Yes, it has. So it's pretty cool. And then that's not the end of the week, because next Saturday, Richard and I will be back. Now, we're doing a thing, and it's quite a weird time. We're doing, you know, the opening tracks on some of your best albums. We're going to do a top 10 of our favourite opening tracks on some albums.
Yeah, yes, and I'm predicting one that Richard should, in theory, have, but I don't know that he will.
I'm sure he will. So that's all. That's what's going on. But there is a quick plug for something now.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
It's the Battle Royale, which a lot of those. How many events now? How many
we've got 14 entries now.
14 entries.
Yeah.
So basically, go and find your favourite album. Always have a backup load because it may be already in the contest. Closing date is the 17th of September at midnight, which I do believe is 7 p.m. on the eastern side of America and 4 p.m. on the other side.
Do you want a quick rundown of the entries we've had so far?
I haven't got them to hand.
I do. We've got The Clash, Sandinista, Boston by Boston, This Is the Sea by the Waterboys, Quadrophenia by The Who, The Stone Roses, self-titled, Yes, Close to the Edge, PJ Harvey, Is This Desire, Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell, The Who, Who's Next, New Order's Technique, David Bowie's Diamond Dogs, Beach Boys' Pet Sounds, Genesis Foxtrot, and the latest edition is Metallica by Metallica, better known as the Black Album.
So there's some good albums in there. If you want yours in there, along the banner is the link to the thing where you put all your nominations. And I have started designing the T-shirt, haven't I, Dave?
Oh, yes. All right, I'm going to take you off full screen and remove that. Right, there we go. It's back to thee and me.
Right, let's stop sharing. Hit that and hit that.
So,
yes.
In the meantime, let's go through them. Good afternoon and good evening to Mick, Art, Nick, Pulsar, Matt, Mike, Simon, Ralph, Charles, Stevie, Bill K. And that's everybody so far.
Yeah, so if you...
Nick, the question in the community channel is 4 songs listed. 3 of them had 2 languages. 1 had 3. Which one is it?
I'm sure Nick is going to put that in.
Yeah. It has. Does that count as a studio album?
Thank you, Charles. Thank you for just popping in and saying that. Thank you very much. Yes, we will have a great show as ever. The link is up there, so if you want to come and say hello and generally. Okay, what Leonard Skinner would be a good choice?
Oh, now, hang on. Somebody has said here.
Oh, you was just asking if the Outlaws were still touring.
No, is someone suggesting the Outlaws and Ozark Mountain Devils as potential reviews?
Yeah, good evening, Charles. A great choice today for Battle of the Debuts, mate. A tough one, but I went with Thin Lizzy.
Yes.
I love both bands, but I've been probably a Thin Lizzy fan longer than a Kiss fan.
Well, the quality of the music or the recordings, multiple venues on both, and you can tell that there's multiple venues on the Kiss side. You don't know where Thin Lizzy were recording. It all sounds the same venue. I think that's where that wins.
Yeah, going back to what Bill Kay said, yes, that's a good. I will put them on the list. I think the Outlaws, Bill. Because yeah, you're right.
The Outlaws, Blackfoot.
I've seen Blackfoot. They are terrific.
Right,
it was I saw them at Nebworth Park, and it was absolutely teeming down the rain, but the music was so good. That was a great show. There was the Deep Purple, the Return of the Nebworth Fair. I think we had Mountain on as well. It was a Mama's Boys. It was just a great selection of bands.
Oh, I've just remembered something. You mentioned Arctic Monkeys. You know they've been nominated for a record 5th time for a Mercury Prize.
Yeah. Will they actually win it this time?
I don't know. They're up against Fred again.
Yeah, we got Molly Hatchet. Yeah, great band. They're on next week for our album ranking. Yeah, another Mountain are a great band. Can't believe I actually saw them. So lucky to have seen Mountain. They were absolutely brilliant. I think most bands that day were brilliant. I mean, I can't remember. I think there was Alaska, Blackfoot, Mountain, the Mama's Boys, UFO, Meatloaf, Scorpions, and Deep Purple.
Oh, I tell you what. Oh, we have to be careful with the Outlaws.
Why?
Because the Outlaws is an English an English instrumental band that recorded in the early 60s.
Yes, there is to that. And that one had actually a certain guitarist called Richie Blackmore in it.
Yep.
Produced by Mr. Joe Meek. And apparently they used to go on stage dressed in kids' cowboys hats and sheriff.
I'll tell you who else they had. Mick Underwood and Ken Lundgren.
Yeah, these people have...
So
no, you can't argue with that lineup, Ralph. It was a great lineup. Pity the weather was naff. It was cold and wet. And I've got memories of this bloke singing Can't Live Without You by the Scorpions right in my ear roll at the same sort of level as Klaus was. Really high-pitched in my ear roll. But when we was watching Mountain, there's one of their tracks has got the music was the Weekend World, which was a program in the 70s, introduced by Brian Walden, and used to go 12 noon. You remember him, Dave? Brian Walden.
Oh, right. No.
They use that bit of mountain music, don't they, as the theme tune?
He did 2 or 3 different things.
Yeah, but that was Weekend World, which was like
that's it. Weekend World, yes.
Yeah, and the music they used for its theme tune was by Mountain.
Oh, right.
I can't remember which one. I can't remember the name of it now. Of this other thing. April Wine. What another good bound record hound. Yeah.
I tell you what, just looking at Outlaws, crikey, they supported non-Southern rock acts between 75 and 80. The Who, The Stones, Aerosmith, Queen, Black Sabbath, Rush, Blue Oyster Cult, Ted Nugent, Peter Frampton, Foghat, and Van Halen.
Oh.
Crikey.
Now, I've got a question tonight if you come up on the panel. Now, as you know, I'm doing Living Colour. Now, I've seen Living Colour twice, but not as a headline band. I saw them doing supporting on the Vivid tour, and their second album. Good evening, Dave.
Hey,
long
Iain.
time no see. How are you?
Well, I'm pretty good. How are you guys?
We're doing.
Right, cool. Dave, good evening.
Turn some lights on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Manchuk. Now that's another good line. That's from Marillion. Hey.
Hey,
so what's been up to?
I don't mean to interrupt. Is it this is a dumb question. Is it somewhere over in Britain too, England?
Allegedly.
Depends which side of the wind you're on.
We're getting up to 90 degrees in Wyoming, like recently.
Ouch.
Billy. Pretty warm here.
Yeah, Patrick's come up with some good bands there. 38 Special, Doc Holliday. Yeah, I like Doc Holliday. He's on about Outlaws are fantastic. The self-titled and Hurry Up, Sundown are top notch. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Patrick. Well, it's nice to see some of you American folks joining us again tonight. It's always a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
Yeah. We haven't had anyone in from America for a little while, so it's great to have you here. So what have you been doing then, Dave? I know you've been busy on the channel because I've been watching.
I get on the internet way too much, I know. Yeah.
It's not as much as me. I'm on it every day. It seems to be at the moment.
I'm not the only one who gets on these chat galleries, so you know.
Yeah, I mean, I did a birthday this week. I did Lloyd in Australia because we're friends on Facebook, and he says my birthday. So I put, when is it? He said on the 26th, and this was I think the 24th. And because he's in Australia, I wanted to get it up so we had it in the morning. So I quickly went through it, listened to the records, and then did the show like that. That was a good one. Yes, they're on there. Charlie Daniels Band. Now, I love Charlie Daniels. The Devil Went Down to Georgia. I love that. I don't know why. Jim Davison did one as well. The Devil Went Down to Brixton. Yeah, so what have you been listening to then, Dave? Anything good this week? Just listening?
I try and think about. I probably have some recent. Trying to think. I found some used records a few weeks ago. I got so many freaking records. It's hard to decide what to.
Yeah, it's. I went through that stage where I seem to have so many records. Where do I put them all? He's going to have a look. 87 and humid. I don't know what the temperature is here. It's pretty sticky. We've not had much. It's been rainy all day, but it's been muggy as well. And when it's like that over here in the UK, it's quite unbearable. It's sticky and horrible. There's some support for Charlie Daniels. We've got to do some Charlie Daniels. The Charlie Daniels band.
Well, I'm getting into. I'm finding a lot of hard rock. I showed you some hard rock albums when I was on your show in May. You know,
yeah.
Hard
rock. As you can see, it's sticky here. My head's all. Ugh. I'm going to have to open a window in here a bit more. Talk amongst yourselves. Stuffy in here.
Well,
I've got one of them extractor things in here, but I'm not putting on it because it's so damn noisy. Yeah, I don't know what the temperature is here, folks. All I know it's sticky at the moment. It's not very pleasant.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
See, I've got a ground floor flat, and I sleep with my windows open. And someone said to me, "Don't you worry about people getting in?" I went, "Really?"
Not with what's sitting on the end of your bed.
Yeah, you wouldn't get. You'd get your hand in, and that'd be it. You don't. I mean, I leave a little window out when I go out, like if I go into town, just for him, because he won't let anybody in.
God, he barks at Lee's going past the door.
Yeah, he's quite good at that. Yes, it's his birthday next month.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Oh, yes. We're doing
I'm doing something for you for Rocky. I know there's a lot of fans of Rocky. He'll be 13 on the 21st of August. Can't believe he's 13 years old. He's supposed to be slowing up.
Oh, you talking about your dog or cat?
Yeah, that's. I don't know if you can see him down there. He's 13 years old, Dachshund, but they're lazy.
Oh, cool. I guess
Yeah, that's why they use them on that health advert.
Yeah. Yeah, Rob. Good evening, Rob. Great to have you back in the Obscurians after last week. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing your birthday video. And coming to join us now is another of our regulars, Mike's Vinyl Spiral. Good evening.
Hiya.
Hey, Mike.
Evening,
How are
Mike.
you? Never met Mike before.
Yeah, we meet at last, Dave. I think the first time we've been on together.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Rocky needs a birthday video. He's getting something special. Don't you worry, Pulsar. Anyway, Beavis Frond. That was a marathon. That was.
Hey, yeah, that was dedication to duty there, Ian.
I think I missed
Ricky's
some.
not a fan.
I think I missed some albums though.
You missed one, yeah, and it's this one.
What's that one? The one with the.
Through the Looking Glass.
There's so many, but there's not many decent discographies online to.
That's right, yeah. But I mean, this one came out in 1987, and it was limited. It was like 500, and then it was reissued sometime later. And this is a reissue from about on Fire Records from about 2 or 3 years ago. It's a pretty good album. Oh yeah, another thing about your ranking. I think that where you went wrong a bit, and I'm not criticising. I'm not having a go. But a lot of the tracks that you included in the albums are actually sort of bonus tracks. They weren't on the original albums.
Yeah, there's nothing on Wikipedia. There's not even nothing on his own sort of page. There's nothing.
I know. It's very difficult, but particularly sort of Miasma and Inner Marshland are just bog standard single albums, about 40 minutes. And it's the 5 or 6, bonus tracks at the end that sort of really detract from it.
Yeah, that on White Numbers, that 42-minute nonsense.
I know.
Have you heard of Beavis Frond, Dave?
I have not. No, that's new to me.
Yeah, it's basically a one-man show, isn't it, Mike? Nick Salomon.
That's right. Yeah, and he has people on. So there's another album he did, and I don't know if it really counts as a Beavis Frond album, but it's with Twink, from Pink Fairies.
Yeah, I might do that one as an extra because I found it a lot. There's some good stuff and there's some pretty mediocre stuff.
Yeah. I mean, even if you take away a lot of the sort of bonus tracks, there's still some stuff on there that really you think, quality control. Why issue a double album when you can get all the good stuff on one?
Yeah, I love the stuff that with Age Shaw and Andy Ward. I mean, I think they're some of the best albums.
Yeah.
Nick's an all right drummer, but Andy Ward is an outstanding drummer.
Cool.
That's right. I mean, I would go for, my top 3 would be Miasma and Inner Marshland and Any Gust Faster. So particularly those first 2. I mean, they're the first 2 albums, or the first and the third, if you count Through the Looking Glass in the middle there. And they're more psychedelic.
Yeah, I love Superseder though. Superseder. I think it's because it's got Andy Ward on it, and being a Carol fan, I'm gonna. Andy Ward to me is one of the great underrated prog drummers of all time, and his drumming on that album is superb.
Yeah. And anyway, I think I think you get everyone leaving if we talk about Beavis Rod for too much longer.
They were.
Yeah, it was probably last thing on Beavis one. It's probably the biggest and the most hardest one to do.
Yeah,
I must admit. But yeah, I'm not going to have all of them, but there's 1 or 2 albums, like the first 3 albums are good and Supersede. So basically, I think the top 10, my top 10 in that ranking will be the ones that I would want to get.
yeah. I think you're right. I mean, you had it down pretty well. I thought, I would have gone very, very similar to you. So,
Yeah,
mate,
I'll have to look up remember to see if any of their songs on YouTube. Look them up sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of their stuff is, Dave. There.
Yeah.
Now, Mike's probably the more expert. What would you say their Nick's sort of influences are?
There's all sorts. I mean, they're very they're very English. Sort of like it's a band that can only have sort of come from England, I think. And there's that sort of late 60s pop psych sort of influence.
Oh, cool.
But then he gets very much into sort of like, quite sort of heavy sort of guitar riffs and, the sort of heavier side of psych. And but there's all sorts. There's all sorts. I wouldn't like to sort of guess what his influences are because there's so much in there.
Yeah, and some of his songs as well are very Elvis Costello, aren't they? As well as that sort of sound.
Yeah. Costello's music. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there you are, Dave. That gives you a rough idea. You've got the novice and the master of Beavis Frond putting you in the right way. So anyone else that wants to go and listen, go. Mike, I think, summed them up quite well. But he is a multi-talented musician, without a doubt.
How do you spell? Is it Bevis?
Yeah.
And then Frond.
Frond, Frond.
FRO. Okay, FRO.
Yeah. So it's two words. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah. So, Pat, what else have you been up to this week then, Mike? Anything exciting?
Not really. I mean, the weather's not been great, has it?
No, I was just Dave. Did you? Was it supposed to be wet summer? And I said, yeah, allegedly.
Yeah, exactly.
But this time last year, we was melting, wasn't we?
That's right. It was about sometime in July, wasn't it, last year?
Yeah.
When we're on 40 degrees. Yeah.
Yeah. But this is Britain.
Yeah.
Ever come to Britain, always bring a Mac, regardless of what time of year it is. Bring your waterproofs.
Yeah. But there's no escape, you can stay here in the sort of like the miserable sort of damp weather in the UK, or you can fly to Southern Europe and get caught up in a forest fire, can't you? It's just crazy at the moment.
Yeah. So, wasn't a poor question. The bands you've seen. No, there's 2 of you. How many of the? You've seen certain bands to support them, but what ones can you not remember who they supported? There's loads. I mean, I've seen FM. I've seen Living Colour twice, but you tell me who were the headline band. I can't remember. So if there's anyone out there that will go into gigs in the UK around about 1989, 88, and saw Living Colour support someone, who do they support? Because it's been bugging me for years.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't have that problem. I can always remember the headline acts I went to see because they're the ones I would have paid.
Yeah,
the ticket for. But
then in that period, I was going to at least 2 full gigs a week. So, seeing big bands, so we all ran into one. Looks like Nick's just got out of his lorry. Good evening, Nick.
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Are we all right?
Hey, Nick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, are you putting Bernard Manning in Battle Royale?
Not telling.
Oh, well, you better not, because PJ Harvey will have no chance.
Yeah,
No, PJ
I have
Harvey.
I've actually done a video for it,
Have you?
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
but I made a bit of a glaring mistake in it, so I might have to do it again Saturday morning.
That's all right. I made loads of mistakes in Haley Westerner. Pronounced the name wrong. But hey, we're only human, aren't we?
Yeah.
I think people forget that, don't they? You know, we can't say everything perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was your mistake then, Nick? Did you describe him as a comedian?
I can't say. I can't give too much away at this time.
What was the
Iain?
favourite? Yeah.
Good band.
Living Colour opened for the Rolling Stones' Steel Wheels Urban Jungle Tour.
So they, oh yeah, that I saw them at Wembley. Yeah, that rings a bell. But I saw them at the NEC as well.
Yeah. They opened for a bunch. They opened along with Guns N' Roses.
Well, it weren't Bums and Noses. I was going to say.
No. They and Guns N' Roses opened for the Stones.
Oh, cool. Do they? Cool.
Yeah, as I say, I saw FM. I don't know.
Excuse me.
The ones I do remember are like Tesla. They opened for Def Leppard on the Hysteria tour in the UK. So I remember that.
Tesla.
Yeah. Jagger seems to have had quite a hand in their career.
Yeah, they were pretty good. They're still going. I think they reformed.
Yeah, they reformed in 2000.
Yeah, I've got 3 of their albums.
I thought
Yeah.
Living Colour was a brand of paint.
No, for those who don't know Living Colour, they're a dreadlocked heavy metal band.
Funk metal.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Living Color. Yeah, I remember them. I forgot about them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
When
personality.
I first saw them, they come on stage and I thought, what? And then they started rocking away, and the dreadlock, instead of like Iron Maiden, the air's going like this, these dreadlocks were going around like this. They nearly whipped each other to death with these dreadlocks.
Really?
Yeah, good band.
Yeah.
See, there's a lot of good rhythm section in Living Colour. You're right, Patrick. They were a fun thing. Oh, don't worry about it, Patrick. Don't worry about that. We knew what you meant. Anyway, have you bought anything good this week, Nick?
Have I what?
Bought anything good?
I've had a couple of bits arrive in the mail. A couple of bits of VCLT. Now that arrived. But that came from Martin Parrott, the vinyl scavenger.
Oh, what's he sent you?
I don't know who it is, but there's some religious song on it, and I asked Martin if it was him singing, but he refused to comment.
Oh,
So that was, I enjoyed that. Whoever it was, I enjoyed it. He sent me that as well.
7.
Lucky 7. Madness.
Yeah, Lucky 7's the label.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Northwest.
Northwest
eyesight.
Story.
No, oh, that's a good song.
It is a good song. I've not heard it for a long, long time. I love it. I do love Madness. The band that put the fun back into British music.
Absolutely.
That came with something I pre-ordered, and it turned up last weekend.
Happy people, the loving paupers don't care.
Yeah, Happy People's the label. Loving Paupers, they're like a reggae dub type band. I don't really go in for dub, to be honest, but
Never heard of them
I'm
either.
kind of warming to it a little bit. But yeah. Where's the album I got? Hang on. Let me dig out the album I got that came with that record. I do apologise. Jimmy Barnes will be going off on one. He's showing his ass.
Yeah, we'll make him small for a minute. I don't think the world wants to see you're behind. Some people may have not eaten tonight. How he's found it. Let's put him back on the screen. There we go.
Happy people.
It's like a sampler, a compilation album of bands that appear on the Happy People label. It's all sort of ska, soul, reggae, dub, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, Patrick the Vinyl Archivist, Nick, has said, would an Iain live stream be without your bum on screen?
Well, exactly.
Yeah, I think we've come to expect it now, aren't we?
Yeah, good job I got my shorts on and my undercrackers. That's all I can say. You got bands in here like the Phoenix City All Stars, Palmer International, the Bionic Rats, probably bands you've never heard of. King Zephyr, they're a great band. Yeah, the Banjulus. Cracking compilation album for that label.
That's pretty cool then, that is, it's a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll give any band a listen. Don't just
that's the good thing about this BC malarkey. You're often hearing names of bands you don't know nothing about, you've never heard of them before. You just give them a try. You never know.
This is it. You're right. There's so many people that say, I recommend that. And if you follow them, you're going to take what they say. I mean, but it's like some of my subscribers, like Mick from California, he'd never listened to any Uriah Heep until I talked about them. And now he's a huge fan of Uriah Heep. So I wouldn't have heard the Beavis Frond.
Is that the Magician Birthday, is it, or something?
Yeah, that's one of the albums, yeah.
Yeah,
one of the albums.
Yeah. I've heard the odd track or two.
I think was it Demons and Wizards? Is that their
big album called Demons and
big
Wizards.
album.
Yeah. But there's a lot of bands that just don't, make it across the Atlantic, in both directions. Because I've been mentioning the Wedding Present quite a lot, and I'm getting quite a few comments back from US and Canada saying, well, you just can't get hold of them over here.
This is it. I mean, it's like you get some of the rock bands in the 70s from America that were huge over there, but weren't over here. Grand Funk Railroad, not very big over here. And the other one, I know we've mentioned this before, is Foghat, a British band, didn't do anything here, but they were huge in America.
Yeah, they were. Back in the 70s.
They're a great band. I love them. I've always liked their music. I just can't understand why they weren't big in their own country. The Art City on the head as well. Best thing about the VC is sharing music.
Hey Iain, I have one. I got one Madness album.
Oh, look at that, Nick! It's got One At Madness album.
That's an American. That's an American one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's an American one. It's a compilation. It's a compilation of British tracks. Yeah, it's a good album though.
Yeah. I've never seen one over here in England in the flesh.
Cool.
See, Bill Kay learning about music here. You'll learn more than music here.
Yeah.
About British humour as well. And British comedy. Hogcat, yeah, great band. Anyway, Nick, it's your. Oh, sorry, Dave.
I'm gonna leave. Nice to meet you guys.
Okay,
Yeah.
lovely.
Okay.
Take it easy, Dave.
Take it easy. Take
Yeah.
care, mate. It's always nice to have someone from across the pond. Anyway, Nick, Tuesday, Iain Jury top 10 singles. Have you got?
Oh yeah.
I'm doing yet. You asked and you get. I've done the top 10 singles of Iain Jury. So look.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Singles by him is one thing I haven't got a lot of.
There's one in my honourable mentions that you'll laugh at. I won't give too much away, but he's quite funny.
Yeah.
I forgot all about it, and I found it. I was going, oh God, yeah. All I'll say is it's actually got a local connection for me.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my favourite Jury single is "What a Waste."
Yeah, that's a good one. A lot. Yeah. They're all good in my way. I'm a Jury fan,
Oh, yeah.
so
Oh yeah, I agree with you, Nick. Yeah, it's not a bad one.
no.
A lot of good memories of growing up. Them singles.
Yeah,
I've had great fun listening to them again.
yeah. I mean, back in late 70s, early 80s, I reckon that Iain Jury and the Blockheads was the band that I saw the most, and they were always brilliant. An absolutely brilliant frontman. Supported by absolutely brilliant professional musicians.
Yeah, because the Blockheads actually made an album, haven't they, after Iain had died? And I've had a listen to it, and I thought, doesn't sound right without Iain.
No.
Musically, it's great. They're as good as they were back in the day, but I think Iain had this wonderful way of his stories, weren't they? They were all stories.
Yeah.
He could take something as silly and mundane as going down the corner shop for a pint of milk, packet of ciggies, and the morning paper, and turn it into a brilliant song. That's just the way he was.
Yeah, just reminded me. Before Blockheads, he's in Kilburn on the High Road, wasn't he?
He was,
yeah.
And there's the absolutely brilliant. Is it called The Bus Driver's Prayer?
Yes.
Yeah, it was the name of an album as well.
Places in London. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. It's so inventive.
Where his dad was a bus driver.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a song about
down to Euston, wasn't it? Double decker move along.
Yeah.
I've got all the Kilburn and the High Roads. Well, he only did one proper album, I think, and the other one was released after. I think the band sort of turned into the Iain Jury and the Blockheads.
Yeah, they repackaged it all, didn't they? The Kilburn album, didn't they? What's it called? What amazing!
Handsome.
Yeah, the Handsome one, and then it got redone, didn't it?
Yeah. What a bunch it was called.
What a bunch, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they also released a 10-inch record of Kilburn and the High Roads. I've got that as well.
All right.
The trouble is, though, it's all in a box buried somewhere behind me, and I can't really sort of dig it all out at the minute.
So there's another band that someone sent the first Teardrops Explode album, Kilimanjaro. What a good album that was. That's great that these sort of new wave early stuff from the 80s is getting over to the States, because it was great music. I mean, today, I was doing that on this, but I did 1994's top 10 in America today. Compared to the same day in UK, the music's totally different. For that year, there was more of a variation over here because there was Brit pop and but it was all over there. It was all sort of rap and that sort of thing. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Patrick. It is a good album, Kilimanjaro.
Yeah.
They didn't last long though. They only did
No.
3.
My memories of Teardrops Explode is Julian Cope in the back of that Jeep on the reward video.
Yeah.
And the trumpets go, ba-bam-bam. How the hell they didn't fall over when that was turning? There must have been something wrong there, but that is the vivid memory of that video. Is them going hurtling along on that Jeep, and they're singing and playing instruments, and no one's falling about.
Yeah. I mean, that was an absolutely brilliant single. I mean, did they have any more? I can't. I'm trying racking my brains. I can't think of another Teardrop Explode single.
I think they did, but they wasn't as big as Reward.
Yeah.
That's the only record I've got for him, actually. Reward.
No, I haven't got the single. I've got it on one of them albums, like what Rob did the other week. The Sound of the Suburbs. It's on a similar
13 or
album.
14.
You what, Dave?
There's 13 or 14 listed here. There's Sleeping Gas, Bouncing Baby, Treason is Just a Story, When I Dream, Reward, which was a non-album single, Treason Remix, Ha Ha I'm Drowning, Passionate Friend, Colours Fly Away, Tiny Children, 7 Views of Jerusalem, which was an Australia-only release. Weird. You Disappear from View, Reward remixed again, Serious Danger, and Count to 10 and Run for Cover.
There's some good songs there. Yeah. That's another band that sort of that one big hit, and then they just went under the radar.
Well, they broke up. McCulloch and Cope, I think, were the 2 antagonists. McCulloch left, and he joined, I think it was Echo and the Bunnymen.
Yeah. Yeah, Rob's right as well. The Wilder, the second album's pretty good as well. I haven't got that one, but I had a friend that had it, and she was forever playing it. Go around her house, and that'd be on. Because I used to say, have you got any other albums? He went, I've got about 4. She said, the other one I've got is Kilimanjaro. So your record collection is 4, and 2 of them are Teardrop Explodes.
Wow. Maybe she was just starting.
Yeah. I mean, we're only, 12, 13, something like that. Wasn't very old.
Crikey. And you were complaining at 12?
I've always... At 12, I've got... I mean, my collection at 12, I've got 30 albums. And loads of singles at 12.
Yeah.
68. I didn't have any. It was all Mum and Dad's records.
What's Nick got now?
Go in there.
Profoundly in love with Pandora. In Jury.
Yeah, that. Now, Guillaume Samar, who played Adrian Mole.
Yeah.
He went to school in Northampton.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh.
He went and he lived not far from one of my friends because we used to see him going to school. He still lives in Northampton.
The Flying remix. Oh, hello.
Not as good as the original.
Now, here's Martin. Now, he can explain that single.
Yeah,
Nice
drop
custom
in it.
label, right?
Good evening, Martin. Let's bump you up.
I know that. Superman's big sister. Only the blockheads and Ian can come up with a title like that.
Exactly.
I can hear an echo.
That's me.
Yeah.
What's that one? I should know. I've been looking at.
That's Reasons to be Cheerful, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Part 3.
Yeah.
What happened to part 1 and 2?
Exactly.
Is
Oh
that?
yeah, that was a big hit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, hit me with your rhythm stick.
Got my favourite thing on that.
Oh yeah, and that's my favourite.
Yeah. There's so many clever so-and-sos.
Yeah.
I want to be straight.
Yeah.
I love that song. That's the one where they all introduce themselves at the beginning, isn't it?
I think, yeah. That's all I've got of his singles. Albums, I've got loads. There you go.
Yeah, I brought Hit Me With Your Rhythm Stick when it came out, but I've only got it in a paper colour, not a picture.
Yeah. When they were promoting the do-it-yourself album in places like America and that, they gave away 3 copies of this. Actually came with the album.
All right.
I've muted Martin for the echo.
Yeah, I'd have to tell him to. Martin, you've got to sort your echo out, mate.
Oh, right. Where's that coming from? Oh, hang on.
If you've got StreamYard and YouTube open at the same time, you need to mute YouTube.
Oh,
I don't think I've got you. Have I got YouTube open? I don't think I have. Well, I must have if you say I have. So, but
It sounds all right
no.
now. No, it's
Yeah,
still
are you
there.
sure?
No, it's still there. I can hear me on you.
Oh. What about if I go out and come in again or something? Or
Try that one and then see if that's the problem.
yeah, I mean, I can see that the StreamYard is like doing a spinning the wheel sort of thing.
Right, it says close all tabs except Streamline, Martin. That's from Michael.
Yeah, no, I think I have. Yeah, no, I have. So, well, if I go out and come back in again, maybe.
Okay then, mate.
Right, see you in a minute.
Yeah.
Hang on. 2, 3, 4, 5. Is Rod staying in the gallery, or is he going to be joining us tonight?
I think he's probably going to be in the gallery tonight.
Okay.
So, Michael, if you want to pop up, I'll put the link in there. Yeah, we're missing. Right, let's take Nick off there. I'm all the way from Japan.
Oh,
There he is.
We have Michael. Good evening, Michael.
Good evening,
Konnichiwa.
gentlemen.
Welcome to the most boring live stream in the VC.
So
Yes.
I've heard. It's a good moniker to have, Ian.
Yeah, good moniker
something
to have.
something that my fellow countrymen don't respond well to is silence in between statements. So we should have more of that here.
Yes, and I'm not screaming at everybody.
No. It's a full house.
yeah. I think your role, Ian, is that we all say unpleasant things about other people, and you encourage us.
Yeah,
That seems to be the way it works over there.
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Martin, it is you. Your echoes. Now we've got the.
I've closed all the other windows, so
Okay, we've got the expert in now. Michael from Ricefield is an expert on this. So
Okay,
what's Mark
if you
do?
go to settings, look at audio, and you should have echo cancellation turned on.
Yeah. Audio.
You have reduce mic background noise. Turn that on. That should only help. But
Echo
that's
cancellation turned on.
Yeah, I have mine turned on. There's no
Automatically
echo with me.
adjust mic. Reduce mic background noise.
Ooh, you're
Mute.
sounding better. You're sounding better.
Yes.
Yeah. You're not just saying that, are you?
I'm not just saying that, but I am hearing a bit of me on your computer. Do you have a lot of echo in your room? Could that be it, or
It's more
No,
like
it
a
sounds
Turn
delay.
the sound
almost.
down a bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Is it?
It sounds like something else, doesn't it? Rather than just echo.
Yeah, it's like there's a delay.
Can go into settings.
Hmm.
Settings and audio. Echo cancellation's turned on.
good? That has improved
Automatically adjust mic volume is on.
things. Okay.
What about reduce mic
reduce-
background noise? Let's try that.
Yeah, let's try that.
Does that help?
And that's
Maybe
it,
I don't know.
3, 2, 1.
Hello.
Yeah.
1, 2.
Yeah.
Buckle my shoe. 3, 4. Knock at the door.
5, 6. Pick up sticks.
5, 7. Open the gate. I think we've got away.
This is a Reginald Perrin thing.
Yeah.
Is that better?
What was this thing? Tapped, wasn't it?
You sure?
It's,
Well, Michael's
it's all-
Michael's gone to move his ironing board. No,
No.
unless he's going surfing.
it's
Is he moving
more
an
of
ironing
a
board then?
delay. It's more of a delay than an echo. And it has
Is it?
improved because
Oh
I'm
dear.
not hearing
Well, I'll make
myself
it brief. I'll stay for a little bit and then.
Okay.
So it's great to see you guys up here. So I know we've been talking in the week, Martin. Well, the thing, guys, is well, Martin and I, he doesn't come up, but we do tate-a-tate, don't we? So we do keep in touch, like I do with Michael. Tell him all the gossip.
We tate our tate.
Yes.
What are you reading, Nick? What are you reading? Playboy or
We're
something?
not boring. I know we're the
No.
boring interest, but
You're like somebody else on a live stream who like looks at other stuff on camera.
I'm just looking for a certain article. That was all.
I see. Mike, how you doing today?
Yeah, fine.
Mr.
Fine.
Vital Sparrow?
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. If everything's hunky dory up here in Leeds. So, have you settled in after you moved then, now, Michael?
I am almost finished. I've got a few things to buy, but I'd say we're we've still got around 30 or so boxes left to unpack.
Yeah.
But
I don't know why this amused me so much, but a week or so ago, you did a video where you were looking around a bookshop that did vinyl, and it was called Book Off, and it just I just found the name hilarious for some reason.
well, they don't. There's a lot of book offs in Japan. There's in every city there's a book off, and it's all used stuff. And
Yeah, it sounds like an
recently got
insult.
directed. What's that?
It sounds like an insult.
Well, the off means discount. So you've heard of Japanglish. I mean, English is not the main language here, so they just they cobble things together.
Yeah.
But
I
I have a
see.
friend who's raving about these stores. He's finding some fantastic deals for like just for $3. He's finding punk, and he's finding lots of new records at these stores, and he's raving about it because there's a lot of people coming to Japan now, and they're kind of going to a lot of stores because the dollar and the yen and the pound to the yen in outsiders' favor right now, and they're buying up a lot of records. But these discount stores have great inventory.
Yeah. I mean, when you were digging through that vinyl, I was thinking some of that stuff, really looks like a bargain.
What's that again? It's some of that stuff.
So some of the stuff you were looking through, I mean, they look like real bargains.
Oh yeah, they're everywhere, absolutely everywhere.
Yeah.
You should come and visit. Go shopping.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you hear me okay if I just interject now? Oh, he's just gone to
much better.
In Japan, I'm just curious, like, is it all very new stuff? Do they have antique shops, or how retro sort of are they, and how obsessed about, say, Europe or America or Moon? I know they're quite obsessed about Moomins because my wife's from Finland. So, and architecture, aren't they? I think as well. Just curious, I suppose.
The short answer is they are obsessed about absolutely everything. Everything.
Oh, that's a good answer.
I mean, it's just you will come across people who have collections of the oddest things. They just tend to get very focused, and they study very diligently on aspects of culture outside of Japan that they're really interested in. Yeah, the answer is yes. Antique shops, anything you can think of. I mean,
is there a lot of tax on importing stuff?
Well, imported items do tend to be more expensive sometimes. When it comes to records, you have larger retailers like Tower Records, HMV, and Disc Union, and they're able to use the power of their budget, their buying budget, to kind of reduce that extra cost on imported stuff. So when they have record store day, it's slightly more expensive than what I see online in the UK and the United States, but it's very close in price. It's certainly not exponentially higher.
It's a fascinating. It's a fascinating country.
Yeah, it's an island, so I suppose island mentality. I don't know really. Or islands, sorry, plural. But yeah,
and also the language is so formidable, and it's so different and unique that they spend a lot of time being curious about cultures outside of Japan, and of course English-speaking cultures are attractive because there's a lot of opportunity there and also cultural influence there. So you tend to see more stores and with American and UK themes than you do, say, French themes or other nation themes.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're dead right about the culture, because up here in Yorkshire, there's sort of Haworth, where the Brontes lived, and all the street signs are in English and Japanese.
Really?
Yeah. All the sort of tourist signs, they're in Japanese and English.
Yes, I can confirm that, because I go to Haworth quite a lot because I go to the railway, and there's a nice pub not just outside the station. That's where I'll go and have my lunch, and everything's in Japanese round there. Absolutely right.
You sure it's not Welsh?
Tourists.
It's definitely not Welsh.
There's a peak.
Oh, God.
If you go, I think there's a Pikachu train, isn't there? I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
There's a Pikachu train, isn't there?
Yeah, the Railway Children. That was filmed on that railway.
Yeah.
Open station.
Pikachu from what's it called? Pokemon. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, there's one in Okayama too, where I was previously living. Go on.
I'm going to drop out and make room for someone else to join the panel.
Okay.
Can I
Okay,
can
you
I
know.
answer Nick's question?
Come on
Nick.
then, put me out of my misery. Is it
Well,
you?
It's not me. No, it's not. Look, I've got 1, 2,
Uh-huh.
3, 4, 5. It's a single by someone from where I live called what's his name? Oh, what's his name again? Talk about killing lifetime. He's from Aylesbury. He's called John Otway. John Otway he's called, and it's
John
a
Otway?
single from the 70s. It's a John Otway single,
Wow.
and it's got
Wow.
Jerusalem on one side. I found them in a tip shop, and I thought
That's
I've no idea what they are. And I tried looking up the Dead Wax. So it's got Jerusalem on one side, his version of it, and he's from where I live, and he went to a school down the road, and yeah, he had a hit, didn't he, called "Really Free" in the 70s.
Yeah,
That's right.
He's sort of,
Yeah, with Wild Billy Barrett.
yeah, that's the guy. Yeah. So if anybody else wants one, I've got a few going spare.
I'd
Yeah.
love one if you don't mind. I was listening to this today.
Oh yeah, what's that? I can't see.
That's Bunsen Burner by John Otway.
Oh right, yeah, that one. Have you seen the
Yeah,
film?
this is a single when he was asked what he wanted for his, it was either his 50th or 60th birthday. And he'd said it'd be nice to get in the charts again.
Yeah.
So all his fans got together and bought this single on the same week. And it actually made the top 20, I believe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he did I just did a video and it was 20 useless facts. And John Otway, when they opened a new bit of link road or bypass where I live, he actually wanted to be the first person to go round on it. So he got his Sinclair C5 1980s electric car, which are very dangerous, aren't they? You're like sort of sitting down low in them. And he was the first person to get on that road. He probably got overtaken in about 2 seconds, but yeah. So
yes, I saw your video. I
he's
thought it was great.
eccentric. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. He's an eccentric person, a bit like me, I suppose, in some ways. But I will put a copy by for you. And how do I get your address? You need to.
My email's on my page.
Oh, okay, that's easy then. I can find that. Yeah.
So if you
Can I
email
have one?
me,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I've got it still. I could message you it on Instagram. Nobody else would know. If you
Are they
have
private
trouble,
chats as well? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
oh, cheers. That's lovely.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question for you, Martin, from Patrick. What is a tip shop?
Oh right. What is
That
a
was my
tip
question.
shop? It's
Yeah.
It's like when you go to take your refuse, special refuse, even though you pay your tax for, you have to pay extra to take the garden waste or whatever.
Yeah.
When you go
Disgusting.
to it's like a charity shop at the dump. Now, what would be the American word for a dump? I mean, not. Yeah, sorry.
Recycle center.
Recycle Centre. Thank you, Michael,
Centre.
for bringing some
Yes.
decorum to this stream.
Yeah, in
I'm so
Japan
sorry.
too, you have to pay for certain. You have to go to the city and pay a small fee for certain things. Television sets, very tough to dispose of here. Small electronics, it's easy, but large electronics, it's hard.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like here in North. I don't know.
Garbage dump.
Yeah, garbage dump. I don't know what you're like in your part of the world, Nick, but we've had stickers put on our bins, right? And there's certain plastics that they won't let you put in the recycling bin.
True.
Yeah, they're having a bit of a purge at the moment.
Well, Northampton Council ain't the most liked council in the country, are they? They're hated.
Yeah,
What, even by people outside of Northamptonshire?
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
shoot
Oh,
over our. Well, they changed the whole sort of council boundaries around, didn't they? And a lot of people are very angry about it because it was. We think it was designed to save Northampton Council from going bust, which I think they did anyway, didn't they, Ian?
yeah. I know they did because I've got friends that still. I worked for the county council many years ago, so I've still got contacts within the county council, and they were in the mire.
Yeah.
So they
And
changed,
You've got all that business with Northampton Town Football Club, ain't you?
Yeah, that's another story, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Michael. What was you
So
saying?
Nick, they changed the geographical boundaries of the town. Is that what they did to
Our county.
the county?
Back in the old day, we had. Remember, you got Northampton itself, Daventry and South Northants, East Northants, and South Northants, and they sort of worked independently. But it went all bad. Now you've just got West. We're West Northamptonshire Council. Are you East or North? Are you North now, Nick?
I think so, yeah. We used to be East, classed as East Northants. We're North, I think, now.
Yeah, it's all peculiar now. But yeah, they've got a purge of bins putting stickers all over our bins. Tell us about food waste, but they're not. They don't collect from flats. Your food waste.
really?
So I actually phoned them up, and it took me 15 minutes to get through to talk to a human being. And I says, okay, then I live in a flat, so where do I put my waste food? So they asked where I was. And I says, oh, no, you can, because you've all got independent doors, because we have. They're flats, but we've all got our own independent door. So if you live in a block of flats, you're knackered. They won't collect your food waste.
So what do you got to do?
I don't do it anyway.
Yeah, Simon says they have to make an appointment to go to the tip down in his part of the world.
Oh,
Wow.
God, how things have changed.
Anyway,
we're going off topic again.
enough of local politics and disgruntlement.
Yes, that's as political as we get on here.
Well, I've told my stories about Leeds City Council, have I?
No, we'll say that.
I'm going to.
Yeah, so has anyone listened to the new Blur album yet?
No.
no.
No? Am I the only person? I wonder if that Simon has. So when Simon comes up here, I'm sure he's listened to it. I've listened to PJ Harvey's album again.
And
I haven't changed what I said in my review.
is it a bit odd?
Is
it mystical?
It's that. What's the track? I can't remember the name of the track. It's the first track on side 2. And I really thought I'd got a dodgy pressing.
Oh, sound something in it. It's all...
Yeah, I mean her voice is clear, but everything else is just distorted, and I think, why would I want to listen to that? And it really detracts from the album for me.
Yeah, it's an odd thing. He hasn't got his copy yet. Yeah, it is. It's an oddment on the album, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so
I keep meaning to pick up a PJ Harvey album, but I never do.
oh, there's some good albums out there.
Where'd you start then?
Well, everyone has their own sort of favourites. I mean, my favourite is This Desire, and if it doesn't win you a compy, and I'm never coming back. But, yeah, because you got Bernard Banning on your side, yeah. It's This Desire is a good one. Mike PC 31. I think his his favourite is Hope 6 Demolition, which is a real surprise, you know, because it's not really other. Let England Shake. That's another good one.
I like most of them, but I can't remember which one I was at number one. See if I can find it in my little book of knowledge.
Mine is To Bring You My Love, but I can't find it either. But I got the original is so familiar for me. I went and bought the demos because it's just so interesting to compare it to the original album. Really,
I ended up buying all those demos. I think they're really good.
Yeah.
I like that
Story
album.
from the City is another good one. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I like her for one other good reason. I share my birthday with her.
No.
All right.
Yeah. So that's why I like her. I thought, oh, someone, you know, when you forget, oh, they're born on my day, right? I'll like them, and I've sort of followed her thing. I can't find it now, but it's bugging me. I've got to find it. God, it must have been ages since I did her. Going back into the mothballs here. Can't find it. But I think I do like Stories from the City and Stories from the Sea. It's a really good album.
Yeah. Yeah. There's only one that I'm not particularly keen on, and that's White Chalk.
Yeah, so
I've never been able to get into it.
Yeah. I mean, I love the one that she done before the new one where she did it in the church. What was that one called? It was all recorded in a church in Somerset.
Oh, God, I can't remember what the last one was.
Yeah, you know the one, Mike. It
was. Oh, I thought Hope 6 was the last album before this one, because it's been like 7 years, hasn't it?
Yeah. I'll soon find out. Let's open up Wikipedia. It's really bugging me now. You know when something's really, you've got to find the right, because you'll never sleep. Here we are. J. Harvey discography. Right, let's find studio albums.
I just had a thought.
So the first one.
Yeah, the Six Open Demolition and Let England Shake.
She wouldn't be in there, would she? Do you reckon?
Might be.
Yeah, it was Let England Shake was the one she recorded. It was in Dorset. She recorded.
Yeah.
Dorset.
So that was like 2 albums ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2011.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've got a few albums here that aren't. I've got some albums here that aren't PJ Harvey, but they're sort of slightly similar in a female modern way. One is a Rob Walker favourite. That's Jane Weaver.
Oh yeah, I absolutely love Jane Weaver,
which I got because Rob was going on about her so much, wasn't he? And she's married to some guy called Andy Votel, who's like a DJ sort of guy. So that's a bit more electronic, this album. And then we've got someone who's a bit electronic but started off ambient more, or more like sort of avant-garde. So that's someone called Zola Jesus, American sort of woman.
Oh, that's someone I don't know. I'm gonna have to.
Oh, okay.
Gonna have to have a look.
Yeah, I think I will.
So she's sort of. I mean, this is a very accessible album. She's almost a little bit like, you know, Lady Gaga sort of started off a bit odd and then, I don't want to say sold out, but became a bit more popular. This one is really accessible. This one is earlier and it's sort of a bit more strange noises, shall we say. And then someone else, one more, and then this is a Swedish woman called Anna von Hauswolf. So she plays an organ, like church organs. What does it say about her? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, gothic sort of thing going on. And this is another one of hers. Horrible cover in a way.
I've got an interesting fact about her.
Her? Yeah?
Now, Yeah, Anna von Hauswolf. That I think it was a couple of years ago that she was due to do a concert in a church in France. I think it was in Paris, but it might have been another city. And because she plays these sort of church organs, and
Yeah.
there was a picket line outside. These hardline Catholics who said she was a Satanist.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, and they managed to get the gig cancelled.
Oh.
Yeah, it's incredible. I know she's a bit goth and a bit dark, but to claim she's a Satanist, I think he's really sort of pushing it.
But then hardline Catholics would probably say that Protestants are,
all go to burn in hell. Yeah.
Well, or purgatory. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. I didn't know that. I suppose lots of people get banned, don't they? And particularly in church. I mean, but I've loads of gigs are in old churches now, aren't they? But definitely some would object to it. So. But I can't find the PJ Harvey one. Sorry, I don't know. I never knew whether to file her under PJ or H. Because is it a band? Is it her? It's a real dilemma.
She's under H in this book.
Yeah, is she?
She's under H. In my collection,
You've got Stories from the City, Stories from the Sea.
Yeah.
Rid of Me. That's from 1993.
Oh, here she is. There we go.
And
a bit of glare. But...
There's another album called Dry as well.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, I love.
It's worth trying.
Yeah, I will.
I've been wanting to pick up some of her stuff for a long time now, and I've just not ever got around to it. I really must.
Yes. Well, then we got a silent bit again. Everyone will go freaky. Yeah, sorry. We do this. We're quite polite, you see.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, I suppose you get worried of talking over each other all the time.
Yeah.
Houseworth is just an organist and a vocalist.
Oh, she sings as well. Yeah. She's got a good voice. Yeah.
Martin, will you send on WhatsApp?
There's some effects on it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you send me a WhatsApp with these artists on tomorrow? Because I'll forget.
I can. I will. Yes.
Okay. Cheers. Because I can put these in for when we do I'll do my Ladies' Day. Bit different, It's what we see. I love doing Ladies' Day. Exposing some wonderful female artists.
I'm sorry about my sniffling, but I've got terrible hay fever at the moment. It just sort of came back today. I thought it had gone, but yeah.
Oh, you saying about that, Martin? I can't remember which one I was recording, but I had to stop because my nose get bunged up and it was itching like a good one. And you want, when you want to go, so I had to stop the recording, have a scratch, start the recording. Oh, it took forever to do that one.
Say, Iain, what's happening with your collaboration with Naomi? You have something planned with her?
Yes, she's actually on holiday. She's coming over to the UK. We're going to be doing it in August when she gets back. Yes.
Good.
We've set each other a challenge basically to listen to an album. I won't say what albums are, but we set each other a challenge about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So we're listening to them. And we're going to do our little reviews on the albums, and then compare what. Like the one I've given her, I'll tell her what I think of it, like that. So we got that coming up. And all the way from Australia, he's come in, the birthday boy himself, Lloyd Boone from yesterday. Hope you had a happy birthday, mate, and welcome to the show. Yes, I do equal, but I like to do 1 month a day in 1 month where it's just the ladies.
There's a lady you can do. Not literally.
Lovely lady.
I don't know, Nick. I wouldn't say no.
Nina Hagen.
Yeah, good.
Nina Hagen.
Yeah. Like tonight, before I came on here, I put some videos on YouTube, and one that come up was Transvision Vamp.
Oh, yeah, Wendy James.
Wendy James, and I'm going, God.
Yeah, didn't we all?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's still going, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why not?
she's had cheap surgery done. She's definitely had some cheap surgery done. So, you know.
Yes. Why are you doing that?
That's killed the atmosphere.
What time is it in Japan, Michael?
It's 5:30.
5:30. Lloyd's down in Western Australia, 4:30. I like your dedication, gentlemen. I like your dedication.
I keep farmers hours, Ian.
Oh, do you? So what you got there, Nick? That looks like a Toya album.
It is.
Yeah. Oh, I can't see which one though.
That's a live one.
Yeah, I just recognise the face.
Yeah. It's my secret bit of crumpet.
There you go.
I'm just waiting on Robert Fripp to pop his clothes, and I'm in.
Now, what's a pop art? Let's have a look.
Transvision art.
Pop art, yeah.
Oh, Transvision Vamp. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that signed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, very nice.
Sure is. Yeah. It's not pink, I don't think.
Message from Rob Walker,
No.
Michael. Thanks for getting up, Michael.
Why don't you get up here, Rob Walker?
Now, there's a reason why, which I'll explain to you later.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
Yeah, doing Ladies' Day is equal. If you think of the averages, most bands I discussed are male. That is true, Record Hound. That's why I like to focus on female artists. And some of my favourite artists are female. You know, Kate Bush. Love Kate Bush. Love Tina Turner.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. I've got two of them down here.
Yeah. Dave's just put, in honour of Lloyd's birthday, Courtney Barnett will be added to the ladies list. So there we go. Bit of Tina. You can't go wrong with a bit of Tina. Tina live. Oh, she's
I've
great.
never seen that cover before.
Sorry?
I've never seen that particular cover before.
It's a double album. Live. I think it's live in Europe or something like that with a
Maybe they
various,
released a different cover in the US or in Japan. I've just never come across that one.
Well, I saw Tina Turner, Nick, at the Derngate.
Did you really? Like it?
Yeah. On the private dancer tour.
I've got Oh yeah, I've got the album behind me somewhere.
Yeah. And do you know who supported her?
Go on then.
Bryan Adams.
Good God.
And during Tina's set, he came out and they sang "It's Only Love."
He didn't sing that horrible Robin Hood song, did he?
No, that was long before that. This is when he was promoting his Reckless album.
Well, if we're all showing female artists as one of the greatest
Andy Denny.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't think I've ever heard that album.
This is one of my all-time favourite albums.
Hmm.
Now that's separate from Sandy, right? It's a separate recording.
Right.
How many solo records did she have before she passed? She
Sorry?
only did a few, right? She only did a few solo records before she passed away.
Yeah, I think so.
She had
Yeah, very few solo albums. I suppose you can, you can call Fotheringay as sort of like it's her project. It's really, very much her. But other than that, it's the Fairport Convention stuff. But North Star Grassman and the Ravens is absolutely brilliant.
Oh, it's a lovely song, that is. I think that's probably one of her best recordings.
Yeah, I mean, I love the lyrics. It's proper poetry. It's absolutely brilliant.
Fotheringay is only about half hour from me.
Yeah, it's not that far, is it?
All
No.
right.
Very famous place.
Yeah, it's where what's her
Oh,
name
Spring-
was executed, weren't it?
Yeah, she was executed there, yeah.
Yeah.
We've also got the place where the gunpowder plot was conceived. Up at Rushton. Not Rushden, but Rushton. The Triangular Lodge.
Rushton. The
Yes.
Triangular Lodge. Yeah, it's only about 20 minutes from me.
Lots of
Oh, I
history.
think I've seen that. Yeah, that was a sort of a We're going back to Catholics again. That was sort of a Catholic sort of symbol, wasn't it? I think, or something.
Yeah,
That lodge
everything
place.
on that place is in threes. It's three
Yeah.
sides.
It's what they
Three
call
wings.
I think they call it a folly or something like that.
Oh yeah, like an expensive building that doesn't have a use.
Yeah,
sort of
something like
thing.
that.
Yeah. There's
It's
some
featured on
band, two
an album
girls,
sleeve as
Swedish.
well.
Yeah, it's two girls who were Swedish, wasn't it? They did it on an album cover in the last 10 years, and it was a really big album, but I can't remember who they were. Maybe somebody would know in the...
Then
Yeah.
there was another. I don't know about them, but there was another band, and I think the album was called Sun Structures. And there's like three of
Maybe
them,
that's
three
what I'm thinking.
lads pictured
Oh, yeah.
next to it.
Mm.
Yeah,
So you don't just learn about music on here, you can learn about history and local folklore. Don't get that anywhere else.
No. In it, where I live in Aylesbury, there was a great train robbery trial was done in the county court.
Oh,
It's
really?
probably one of the most famous things, yeah, here. And we've got a David Bowie statue as well.
Why haven't you
Although
got a
David
fish?
Bowie was not... Huh?
Why haven't you
Sorry?
got a fish statue?
A fish? We should have a fish statue, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Or a
know.
plaque where where would the pub they did their first gig in? It's not there anymore, is it?
I don't know, Ian. I believe you, but
Yeah.
probably not. No, a lot of pubs have closed in Aylesbury. Yeah.
Is that's
Next week,
what he's saying there? What Rob Walker's saying there? Would we call that cheeky in your country? Is that a cheeky
Yeah, it's been
statement?
very cheeky, isn't it? Very cheeky, Mr. Walker.
Mm.
Welcome, Breakfast King of Lawyer. Welcome. Yes, so next week is Rob's birthday, so he's got his top 10 coming up. Yes, and Dave's just put up the building shown on the album cover is the Rushton Triangular Lodge near Rushton. So there you go.
Rushton.
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 Not Rushden.
No,
You
Not
admit,
Rushton and Diamonds.
yeah, that not that Rush, but that Rushton and Diamonds.
No.
And all the way from the south coast.
It's Vinyl Dale.
Hello.
Welcome to the boardroom.
Hello, Vinyl Dale.
Welcome. How are we all doing today?
We're doing
We're
good.
doing
Hello.
good.
Oh, great.
I've been on as soon
I liked
as
your video.
I've got a new computer. Just setting it up.
Oh, excellent.
So, yeah, it's taking me a bit of time to download stuff.
Yeah, so
I really
it's a
like
good
your new
thing.
video, Simon.
What, the shorts?
Yeah, I thought that was great. Just 10 CDs and just, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I've
thought
been
that was
doing
really
videos.
snappy.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, that's what I thought. Just
There's some good ones in there as well.
Yeah, I've picked
Yeah.
up quite a few CDs recently, so yeah, I'll be doing more of those little shorts. I just find it a bit easier now, just making shorts for like CDs rather than do like a 15-minute video talking about CDs. You know, if it's vinyl, then it's a bit different, but you know, CDs,
Mm.
yeah,
Because the new thread, it's like 10 of most played albums, isn't it? That's one
yeah,
thread that as he started. Yeah. And
yeah. I
yeah,
might do
I
that.
don't know.
I might do it. Don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah.
I could do it, I
I
suppose.
picked that thread up through a guy called Andy Ford, who's only been doing it for about 6 months. He was just short of 100 subs, and he's pretty good. You know, I seem to share a lot of my musical taste with him. You know, so
Mm.
you know, if you haven't seen him, you know, go and have a look.
Okay.
Mm. I just saw him today, and I did pull his leg in my comment about I thought you were going to be another just 10 prog albums, but he had different stuff in there. Yeah, Portishead in there, and yeah, different. What else did he have in there? I don't remember now, but yeah. What sort of music do you like, Michael? Sort of.
Me?
I mean, I've
Well,
watched your video. Yeah, I've watched your videos, but sort of, you like all sorts, or don't you?
I do
Quite
like all
different.
sorts.
Yeah,
I do like all sorts. I mean, it's funny because
yeah.
I was
Not
thinking about that
mm,
that that 10 record challenge recently, and you know, I'm setting up a new. I moved. I'm setting up my stereo again, so I think about which records I go to test out to see my speaker placement, and it's typically, you know, it's records that I've listened to since I was a teenager. So it's mostly American and British stuff from the 60s and the 70s. I mean, I am 65, so we do tend to gravitate towards the stuff that we first became indoctrinated with. Uh, but you know, to answer your question, I listen to a lot of Delaney and Bonnie and Friends, Mahavishnu Orchestra, Roxy Music,
yeah.
Genesis, um, things of that nature. It's
You see, when I set up, if I
Jazz. You're
move,
quite into jazz.
a little bit. I mean, when I first got introduced to jazz, I got introduced to a lot of free jazz. And one of the records that I really like is Les Stances à Sophie by Art Ensemble of Chicago, which is really kind of like a soulful, funky jazz record. So I would think that that's a seminal record for me. Mahavishnu Orchestra's Intermounting Flame is a seminal record for me. You know, records that really are a cornerstone from which I build off of. And yeah, I've been picking up some Art Farmer recently, and um, uh, some other, you know, drawing a blank. But I mean, the stuff that I really, you know, what's important to me when I listen to music is, you know, a really good recording, and you know, stuff that draws me back, um, you know, from a youthful point of view.
A youthful point of view. We're all young.
I kind of
Yeah.
stumbled with that last fact there. Sorry about that.
Do you feel that you've said you're 65, Michael?
Yeah.
Do you feel
Yeah.
that the older you get, the more you kind of mellow out towards music? I mean, what's the most real, you know, in your face sort of habit record you've got?
In your face, you know, but you know, I really you know, in my face. Well, if it's in my face, then I'm going to tend not to want to listen to it a lot. Um, you know, like, you know, a friend of mine has been egging me on to listen to the Cramps, and you know, I picked it up,
Yeah,
and you
great
know, it's
man.
fun. It's a novelty. Am I going to listen to it all the time? No. Friend of mine recommended Pig Bag, and I think I like that record. It's it's fun. It's really energetic record, so I appreciate it for its playfulness and its creativity. Um, There's a record that I just got up recently, which is a good example. It's Chicken Shack, Imagination Lady, and it's so different than all of their other records. And it's a real hard rock, kind of based on Cream and other bands. I can't listen to it. I just, I can't sit there and go and listen to it from start to finish. And I am a real start to finish kind of record listener. I really try to listen to both sides when I sit down. And commit, 20 to 40 minutes to a record. I am not a singles kind of guy.
Right.
You don't.
Yeah. So you're 65 as well, and Michael. That's same as me. But,
You don't want one of these, then.
I just.
You don't want one of these, no.
I'm sorry.
I'll tell you what I've been listening to today.
What's that?
The Subhumans.
Okay.
Yeah. Day the Country Died.
Yeah, yeah.
This is proper punk. It's from 82, I think.
See,
it's very
you don't feel the need to I was thinking about this today at work when I was driving along. I'm 56. Do I feel the need to grow old with and have a bit of grace and decorum, or do I just say, well, fuck you? I'm still listening to all the hardcore shit I loved from years ago, and I still will. Until I'm.
You're going back to your 20s, Nick. I mean, that makes total sense to me, right? I mean, when you were a teen, you were listening to that music, and it made a huge impression on you. Therefore, you're still listening to it today, right?
Is it?
I agree. But I do like listening to new music. New rock bands, but I'll always go back to me Genesis, me Quo, me UFO, me AC/DC, and Saxon, because that's what I grew up on. If I want to put a good heavy metal album on, I'll go and put Saxon on, or Judas Priest, or if I want to blast my ear out, Motorhead, because that's what I was in as a 13-year-old. But I go back even, as a smaller child with the 60s stuff, and me Simon and Garfunkels and me Mamas and Papas. I love all that. And rock and roll, I just love music from the 50s, probably up to the early 90s is my thing. And then now and again, there's some new rock bands out. Like tomorrow, I'm doing reviewing the new album by Greta Van Fleet. I think they're a terrific band. This new album is superb.
Yeah.
So,
I've heard the name.
Yeah, they're the singer's Josh. I think there's 3 brothers and another member of the family. And this Josh has got a voice that's somewhere in between Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin and Lenny Wolf of Kingdom Come. If you Lenny Wolf, a band called Kingdom Come, they just sort of become like a Led Zeppelin clone. People say he's a Led Zeppelin clone, this Greta Van Fleet, but he's got a great music. And the way I describe them, they were formed in 2012. They're a young band, but they're playing older sort of music, and they do it so well. Yeah,
Nick, to go back to your original point, your original question to me. What I'm finding recently is that at 65, what I'm liking to do is I'm going after music right now that typically I didn't like for years, and I discounted for years, and I'm rediscovering it and finding that I really do like it. So when I do like the Cramps, right? I do appreciate it. It's funny rockabilly kind of stuff, and I appreciate what they're doing. And so what I like to do is just go out and find stuff that I discounted out of hand, because we have to do that as we're going through life, right? You're in your teens, what were all my friends listening to when I was my teens? They were listening to Allman Brothers, they were listening to Yes, they were listening to Grand Funk Railroad, they were listening to Led Zeppelin. and you go and you make a choice, and you go, I like this music, and you go with it, and you go, I'm a Deadhead, and that's how you travel on into your 20s. But as you go on in life, you realize at my age, and I guess at your age, that there's a lot of stuff that you go, geez, I really discounted that kind of stuff. So people see my challenge and my channel, and they go, oh, that guy, he likes Wet Willie, right? Well, I like Wet Willie because I totally discounted them for like 40 years. And I recently rediscovered them, and I think they're fantastic. And that's the kind of journey that I'm into these days. Finding stuff that I discounted out of hand, giving it a chance, and discovering that I really like it.
I think that's my thing with the Smiths. Growing up, I thought they were totally boring, right? And I admit that. But now, I started listening to them, and I go, this band are brilliant, and I really love the Smiths now. So from when they came out, being a young, more into me heavy music, you sort of do mellow out, I think. And Rob Walker's put that in. He's right. I love the Smiths now, and I listen to them quite a lot, and I love Morris's solo albums as well. I think they're terrific.
I do.
And it's a bit like Blur's new album. I mean, I've been listening to it because it's on Spotify, and I'm really getting into it. Have you heard any of it, Simon?
No, I haven't. I had it on pre-order, but it's not arrived for some reason.
Huh.
So
yeah, I think you will like it, definitely, being a big Blur fan. So yeah, and it's got lots of them tracks. I won't spoil it for you. So don't.
No, I've heard it's supposed to be quite good. It's supposed to be more sort of reminiscent of their older albums. Is that right?
Yeah. All I will say is that Damien's vocals obviously have changed.
Yeah.
But they haven't changed for the worse. So.
No. They were only down in London not that long ago, weren't they?
Yeah. Just a question for Martin. What town was Leo living in?
What town was Leo living in?
Yeah.
Leo who? Leo Sayer. Yeah. Sayer, Amersham in Buckinghamshire.
Yeah, I know Amersham. Nice place.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Spent
it's a posh
drinking there
place.
many moons
Yeah,
ago.
he was living in Amersham. Yeah.
Wasn't he a mime?
He lived in the old
incorporate
town.
mime
And then...
into his music? Leo
Sorry?
Sayer, didn't Leo Sayer incorporate mime into his act? Am I confusing
at the very start? Yeah. That's right. He had like what's this sort of called? This sort of costume you have, black and white with a hat pointing up and a
Marceau.
Perio. That's it. Yeah. Pierre. Thank you. Yeah. But the local record shop, which I grew up with, he had his own CD section of Leo Sayer CDs, and he sold bucket loads, didn't he? Even in America, I think he sold bucket loads, didn't he?
He was really popular in America. Yeah. There was another mime act that Todd Rundgren supported, which was Hello People, which also had that also had mime in their act. But Leo Sayer, he broke through.
Yeah, he wrote songs for other people as well, didn't he? I mean, I think he wrote a few for Tina Turner, which I know of.
Are you okay down there? Minus.
Yeah, from Lloyd. Apparently, Leo Sayer has resided in Australia for the last 35 years and became a citizen. Well, wait for Martin to come back because it's coming up to that time where we're going to have to, but not for much longer. Another couple of months, and we'll be able to chat all to the early hours if we can. So that is definitely coming because this is getting more popular and people want to come up and say hello. And it's great that we're all up here. So we'll wait for Martin to come back.
Yes.
So where's everybody gone?
We're not boring at all.
Certainly not.
You speak for yourself, Nick.
Well, yeah. I love these. I love these Thursday night chit chats.
Yeah, me too.
There's nothing on the telly, is there?
Well, I don't watch the bloody telly anyway. I don't pay for a BBC license, and I bloody well won't either.
Oh crap! Isn't it?
Right, sorry about that.
That's
Okay.
all right. Well, we're going to have to, because we're still a poor and only can do 2 hours a week, and we're going to close down. So once again, thank you for Mike, Martin, and Michael, and Nick, and Simon,
Thank you.
and Dave for earlier, and thank you for everybody in the Obscurians for their contribution. Lovely to see new people. Lovely to see Lloyd in from Australia. So we're getting worldwide now. Lots of people from America again. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to do Mystery, and I'm going to be reviewing Starcatcher, the new Greta Van Fleet album. See you all next week. Have a great week, everyone, and bye for now.
Okay. See you then. Cheers.
Cheerio.